This is the lady of the house, and she doesn't really want to be talking about this.
This is candy camera. On my birthday, I got this.
This one candy camera. And I got your body.
All right, now you have to be very careful what you say now, because this will be played back for 100 years.
That's it. This is permanent
Film.
record.
Now this is camera.
Now it's running.
Oh, no, it's funny and cool.
This is Howard's favorite dinner.
Pleased to meet you.
I am Yolanda Still, and I'm 79 years young.
And I'm Howard P. Still, and I am going on 82 years old. We grew up at a different time. It was back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, and just finishing up World War II, and people were coming home, if they came home. And family was so important because you had to keep everybody all the time surrounded, because they would come in the middle of the night and attack you for no reason. So we were always in each other's eye, looking all the time, and being in each other's care all the time. We learned that from, oh God, such an early age. I can remember when I was about 6 years old, when my mother told me I couldn't light the candle. We had to light candles by matches in the old days. It's way before, you kids don't know anything about that. But they were afraid if you lit a candle, a Japanese plane or a German Nazi could see that plane from 20, 30, 40,000 feet in the air and drop a bomb on you. And that's the first time I realized how serious war was and how dangerous it was all the time.
In Jamaica, some of us lived in Kingston, which is where my mom and I was born there, raised there. My dad's from Kingston too, raised there. But we also have relatives in another parish called Portland. And so we would go between, cousins will come over from Portland and visit and stay with us for a while. And I will go over there, or my mom will go visiting. So we were always that kind of a family where we don't ostracize ourselves or keep ourselves. We were always intermingling. And we were pretty much like the way I raised my family here. And fortunately for me, I married a man whose family pretty much simulated our way of living. That was one of the most beneficial thing and comforting, because I was coming from England to America. The only person I knew was Howard. So until I met his family, and they were the best.
God, I love to me, now I just have to tell you all the time, it all reverts back to the grace of God. She don't even remember when I saw her hardly in England. She was my first date after I got there in the service, 1962 for the Vietnam War. And I hadn't went out anywhere, and we met at a place called the All Nighter. I'm trying to remember the name of some of the places, Yeah, and I said, God said, that's the girl I got for you to marry. And it was so plain. I said, oh my God, because when you're young, I think I was 21, 22, something like that. They're very young, but all my friends were getting married, and we were all settling down. And the Lord brought me here for the war, but I also realized that you have to try to start a family too if you can. This is a learning thing. You don't know all the things you have to know when you start a marriage. We've been married almost 60 years.
A family that I like is a family that we do things together. Things like going to church together. We try to have meals together. We sit down and have talks, laugh, have fun.
Going to the zoo, doing all kinds of trips together, and always trying to encourage one another. and always trying to tell them to try to do the right thing. Family to me is absolutely critical, because there's where all of your training, all your love, all your kindness, and all your goodness go to make the family a family. Without that, you have a lot of chaos, and you have a lot of disruptions, and it only hurts the children in the long run. You know, they have to see good examples all the time. Yeah.
Very important in celebrating things together in the family. And one of our normal things to do, traditionally, birthdays are celebrated. We always have a cake. Friends, we have a lot of family, siblings, children, cousins. We also invite friends along, and we just have a fun time with the children.
It's very important to celebrate family and to try to keep the family unit together as long as you can. Even when the kids go off, if you raise them right, they'll do a good job wherever they go. And you'll find them repeating. I see our family doing the same thing we used to do with them.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Chelsea. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Grandma, go
Tennis
first.
wasn't very good at it. Where to get the ball and serving. When we played the British basketball, and of course we had gymnastics. So I did manage to get an award in gymnastics one year. I don't know why. Yeah, but I never excelled in any of those. But I was always very athletic and loved to run.
Primarily track was my main sport, but although I was offered a professional baseball contract for the American, I think it was the Mets and the Pirates, and I turned it down because I had to leave my wife and children in England to come back to the States and spend 3 or 4 months running around chasing baseball. But I played a lot of baseball, and I also ran a lot of track, and I went to school and I won a track scholarship as well. When I showed up for high school, I was 13 years old, and I broke the school record. Of course, I didn't know anything about records or anything, just a kid from Lawrence. I didn't know anything about anything. And the next thing I heard, well, you're going to be Olympic champion. I said, what's the Olympics? We didn't know anything about none of these things. Anyway, I did 4 years of left with my records there, and all kind of, and the long jump was one of my specialties too, but sprinting, 100 and 200 meters, yeah, and the quarter mile too.
These are some of your old.
Oh wow, where you find this from? Oh my God!
Yeah, that one.
Oh wow, 1962. Oh Lord, this is baseball. One is baseball and one is track and field. Yeah. Airman still teaches the jersey when I was overseas, trying to teach the British how to play baseball. That was one of the biggest sports in America at the time. And we played a lot of baseball overseas. Whenever we weren't ducking because of the war thing, we were trying to teach the British. Not too far from Paris.
His home run swing.
Yeah. Hit a lot of home runs. Yeah. Led the league in average, and one of the best baseball players history. He said he came to see me play. He said, "Man, you not only will you make the team, not only will you be an all-star, you'll be one of the greatest players to ever play baseball." He said, "I watched you for 3 different games." He said, "Your instincts are just unbelievable." I'm trying to think of his name.
Marilyn Monroe's husband.
Marilyn Monroe's husband at the time. Yeah, and he had the biggest hitting streak in major leagues for 156 games with hits. Oh, yeah, he came to 3 of my games. He said, "You want it," but see, and that's a gift. I was telling Granny, that gift to hit that ball like that came from my mother. My mother had such incredible instincts that you could barely even imagine. She could catch a fly in midair. Long time ago, back in the 50s and 60s. Yeah.
Destroyed in a house fire.
We had a house fire.
All that could,
lost everything. Yeah, and this
uniform, wedding dress,
house
wedding
burned down.
dresses.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of encouraging, and you got to have a lot of a pride, you know, to do sports and to be competitive.
Looking at next year's scoring champion, the Really Valley champion, also on championship team. Good luck again. Come on, let me see you shoot the shot now.
We spend a lot of time with our children at their games. Yes, I try to. I used to work nights, 11 to 7, at first for 30 years. And I would definitely try to make the sports and come home and go to work on an hour or two sleep at night. But it was always important to support your children in their activities. They were great. It was worth watching them. Everybody excelled in the sport that they chose. Michelle was she was a good basketball player, but
track
wasn't her thing.
Yeah, track star.
But she excelled in track.
Yeah.
Getting lots of
awards.
medals and awards. And she was an ardent reader.
She was an outstanding, gifted athlete and a hard worker. I'll just tell you an example. We went to the Produce Junction place about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, and they were talking about Michelle. And because the guy used to work with Michelle at the University of Pennsylvania, he said, we drove that train 30-some years every morning, 5 days a week. He said, but she's the finest person I've ever known in my life. And his wife standing there. And I said, but you hear these things. It's very important that people can say those things to you without, you don't have to twist their arms. You don't know what they're going to say. As a matter of fact, it's shocking sometimes, but the guy said she was the finest person I've ever met. And they rode the train to the University of Pennsylvania for 30 years.
My feelings, looking back at the activities, it's very encouraging, rewarding, comforting, especially now, with the 3 girls are not with us anymore. Jennifer was an outstanding basketball player. She was a joy to watch. And one of the things about her, she listens to all the coaching from her dad, that even her coach is asking him to come and coach her
at the games.
At the games, which is unusual. Coaches don't like it to interfere.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, but Yogi she wanted to play hockey, but
she had a condition too.
She suffered with the hypoglycemia. Activities after eating very sugary foods, her blood sugar drops really fast, so she wasn't allowed.
David played, he played a lot of sports, but basketball was one of his main sports. He was an outstanding basketball player, and he also outstanding football player, and he got a couple trophies downstairs there too, but all the children basically made some contribution. He was the last, but he was a little slower getting involved, because his sisters and brother were so competitive. So it's hard to catch up, but you got to work just as hard. My son played primarily basketball, and as a matter of fact, they were trying to contact him a lot of times. We didn't know. He was reluctant all the time, because when you're the youngest and you come from a family of outstanding people, you feel intimidated. It's very easy to feel like I don't have the wherewithal or have it all, And you have to get past that, because God has gifts for you. We all have gifts if we'll just let the Lord take His time to bring them to the public.
Avril was a good artist.
He was outstanding artist. Yes, he did. Beautiful children. Beautiful children.
Get a lot of compliments in our, especially in the neighborhood, when the families see our children walking down to the bus stop and walking home to school from school. Yeah, that they're well behaved, well dressed, mannerly.
Great children all the time, and we were told that all the time. When I was growing up, we didn't film anything, but when she showed up, They took pictures all the time in Jamaica, so she brought that part of that, all the time taking photographs and all the stuff to the family. But
For some reason, he became the photographer. He used to take a lot of videos, especially for the birthdays and any Christmas time when they're trying out their gifts. Michelle used to have a horse that she would ride.
She loved. Oh my God! She rode that horsey buggy. Oh my God! I remember that now. To me, trying to have meals together, and then also whenever you have a chance, tell somebody how much you love them, and I'm not just saying that, but you're always praying to God to spread blessings around them, keep them on the right track. Right, yeah, it really touches your heart. Yeah.
Yeah, the memories.
Yeah, oh God, yes. I just telling Granny about we drove.
Well, we try to and be inclusive. Include them in things that we're having at home, or we make plans to go on vacation, and we would have 3 carloads.
Family members, yeah. I know.
So
they were big times.
Yep. We have our wagons full, and Aunt Jane will have hers full, and Uncle Richard will have his full. 3 cars will be going.
Going to Florida, going everywhere. We traveled so much. Yeah. We traveled so much.
And we also, travel to other states. We'd go to Florida, go to Disney World.
Went to Canada.
Yeah, we go to Canada.
Yeah.
We always try to have some kind of family out.
Togetherness,
The Still family has a Still family reunion every year. So we get to see people that we haven't seen in a long time, and get to meet new, people that have traveled from England, and Canada, and different countries to come and participate in that reunion.
All right, come on, fellas. Let's go see New York.
Well, grandchildren, we'll start with, I guess, Michelle's 5. She did an awesome job with her children, too. And you all have different parts of her
personality.
Well, her patience, her kindness, her lovingness, and then, of course, Yoki, smart. Her children, Demi.
Smart as a whip.
He's just starting to learn to use it all.
He's gifted
we
too.
We had to finish raising him, so you'd have to be one to tell us what it was like being raised by us. But
he's
all
gifted,
our children
talented
the same,
too.
no matter who they are.
All these children.
Children that comes to the backyard almost think we're their parents still in the neighborhood, and their parents didn't mind them coming to our house.
They love for them to come here. Oh yeah.
Who reminds me of myself is my little 7-year-old granddaughter.
Oh, Naomi.
And Naomi. Every time I said, oh my goodness, look at myself. I did that. I did that. I did that. David, he tells me that a lot of things that he does, he says, you taught me that. You showed me
he says it to me too. Yeah. He says it all the time to me too. Yeah.
And Ever will tell the same thing. Supporting our grandchildren. We support them through their elementary, high school plays and sports, and we always had fun accompanying them to their colleges. Love, love to go and load up their things and take them to their rooms.
They encourage them all the time.
Yes, I miss that. We take them to their ball games. We go to their plays, we go to their award ceremonies. We're always involved.
Try to be supportive all the time.
Yeah.
You actually have a thing.
Well, his grandchildren are the ones who started Nilani and David and Everett, and I guess they decided to have a ball game or at the fields, I guess, with all the cousins, and everybody came and had such great fun, and we said, we have to do that again next year. We have to do that again next year, and it's becoming now where we even have trophies to be won.
But when I was
when you divide up into teams.
Family's critical, and losing children shows you how hurtful and painful. In all the lives, all the years of your life, you think about those things. And you think it breaks your heart every single day, you know? And people don't realize, they just take lives today and they think it's nothing. But that's somebody's child, and God has a purpose, a perfect plan for their life if you let them develop and live long enough to really get to understand what God is trying to do with you. We don't understand life that way. Life is like a mystery.
They're missed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord for the time
that we had with them. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Time we had with them.
Yeah.
And there's no, you have to remember them every day, because there's always something
some to remind you. Yeah.
And then you wanted, I said, if only Michelle could answer that.
Or Jennifer or Yoki. Yeah, you think about it every day.
Yoki, I could always ask her to do anything on the computer. And, and Jennifer, she was the sweetest, kindest, hilarious person to be around.
Was funny. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a father is one of the best things you can ever do with your life, because your children continue. We pass away, but they go on to the next generation, and if you train them right, you'll find out they sound so much like you. They think like you. They act like you, and that's what God wants us to do. And then when you break those cycles, the kids are so confused and they're so mixed up, and they suffer such terrible things inside too. And of course, they have a tendency to suffer on the outside too, which is horrible.
It's very rewarding for me to be a parent and have family. I always, as a child, wanted 4 children. I had names picked out for them, which I didn't name one of my children, any of those names. And I ended up with 5. So I always called him, my special gift. I said, the Lord gave me an extra one.
They were all special. Yeah, all special.
And we loved them and cherished them the same. My brothers used to live here with us, and no one could tell that they weren't our children.
We're all family, yeah. It's true, too. It's true, yeah.
I'm a caring person, that's why I became a nurse.
It's always good to see when we look back. Yeah, it really touches your heart. Yeah.
The memories.
Oh God, yes. But you're always praying to God to spread blessings around them. Keep them on the right track. Keep them in the middle of your life, in you guys' life too. In that way, they'll be fine.